Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The 2024 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival has officially launched with the announcement of the 26 ladies who will vie for the 105th festival's Royal Court. The price of a new home in the Wenatchee market inched up slightly in November compared to October. Wet weather is expected again tomorrow with a break Friday and then snow headed our way Saturday. All the details coming up in weather. The probe into last spring's standoff between the East Cascades SWAT team and a rural Leavenworth man has been turned over to the Chelan County prosecutor. Robert Sealby says he's reviewing materials turned over by an independent investigation team based in Moses Lake, which was asked to review the case after one officer fired a rifle during the March 28th incident. 48-year-old Abel D. Wilkes was arrested after the standoff, which closed part of Chumstick Highway for about 18 hours. Wilkes was tried and convicted of second-degree assault for pointing a rifle at a neighbor earlier that day. His case is under appeal. Sealby told NCWLIFE News he's still investigating the matter and expects to conclude whether the police acted lawfully by the end of this year. A semi-rollover in Grant County overnight caused no human injuries but led to the death of 5 cattle. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say the truck hauling 64 head of cows overturned on a rural road about 10 miles east of Moses Lake. Road 1 Southeast was closed for about 6 hours while fire crews and the ranching and shipping companies involved worked to clear the area and transfer the surviving cattle. The 5 animals injured in the crash had to be euthanized. The 2024 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is officially launched with the announcement of the 26 ladies who will vie for the 105th festival's Royal Court. The young women pictured here will perform in a get-to-know-you session on January 8th for 20% of their score and give candidate speeches on January 9th for 80% of their score before the top 10 are announced that night at 6 p.m. The ladies will be narrowed down by a panel of 5 out-of-town judges. All these events are free to attend and will take place at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. A local employment program has been recognized by grocery industry publication Progressive Grocer for helping young people with disabilities secure jobs. Project Search, a joint effort between Stemilt growers and the Eastmont School District, received an Impact Award for workplace development for their Transition to Work program. Stemilt and Eastmont have been working together for the past year and a half to help students with disabilities gain real-life experience while teaching them employability and helping them gain life skills ahead of adulthood. In the program's first year, 7 interns were given on-the-job training and 2 have since been hired by Stemilt after graduation. Stemilt welcomed the next class of interns, a group of 4, in September of this year. When we come back, 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse has some special requests for the U.S. Farm Bill. That's the massive funding package for agriculture and food programs across the country. And Coastal Farm and Ranch will be hosting very special guests this Sunday in light of the holiday season. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets. At Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse has some special requests for the U.S. Farm Bill, the massive funding package for agriculture and food programs across the country. In House testimony today in Washington, D.C., Newhouse, whose districts include Grant, Douglas, and Okanagan counties, said organic farms in particular are hoping their products are considered in the new legislation.
My district is home to a significant number of organic growers, and I'm concerned by the lack of urgency and collaboration from USDA in updating organic standards. Consumer trust in organics relies on strong and consistently updated voluntary standards that reflect the latest facts on environmental and ecological data, consumer demands, and innovative best practices. To address this issue, I, along with others on this committee, with overwhelming support from our growers across the country, introduced the Continuous Improvement and Accountability Act in organic standards. This legislation establishes a 5-year repeating process where USDA, its advisory board, and stakeholders work together to ensure evolving market data is included in modern organic practices.
The price of a new home in the Wenatchee market inched up slightly in November compared to October, but was lower than the price in November of 2022. Pacific Appraisal and Associates reports the median price of a home in the Wenatchee Valley in November was $488,000. That's down 2% compared to last year when the price was $500,000. In October of this year, however, the cost of a new home was $485,000. There were 53 total home sales last month. That's down 23% compared to October of 2022 when 69 homes were sold. Active home listings were also down slightly to 148 in November of this year compared to 161 in November of 2022. Coastal Farm and Ranch will be hosting very special guests this Sunday in light of the holiday season. Santa and his reindeer will be at Coastal from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the event is free to attend. Interested individuals are invited to bring their friends and family to take photos with Santa and the reindeer while enjoying candy canes and hot cocoa. Coming up next, the top federal law enforcer for Eastern Washington had things to say today on the flow of fentanyl and other drugs into Native communities. We'll have more on that in tonight's feature story. More wet weather on the way tomorrow with snow in the forecast for Saturday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
In tonight's feature story, the top federal law enforcer for Eastern Washington had things to say today on the flow of fentanyl and other drugs into Native communities. Vanessa Waldruff is the U.S. Attorney based in Spokane with the Department of Justice. She was invited by Washington Senator Maria Cantwell to talk about combating the crisis in a hearing of the Senate Indian Affairs Committee today.
So are we seeing people not just preying on this population, which they clearly are preying on this population, as Senator Murkowski described, but in addition, is it just a good place to operate their facilities from? Does anybody have a comment on that?
There are certainly challenges in addressing the trafficking of drugs in rural communities, and you've identified a lot of them. The same strategies that we have found throughout rural communities in Eastern Washington have been effective in addressing drug trafficking on our tribal lands as well. And that is really trying to have, using resources like HIDA and our task force, Safe Trails task forces, so that we have accurate information from our tribal law enforcement members, because they really know what's going on the ground. And so if those task force, those tribal law enforcement members can be either task force officers or have the special law enforcement commissions. Those are extremely valuable tools for us to be able to bring federal prosecutions effectively.
Why are cartel operatives using tribal lands to transport and hide fentanyl?
We do see drug trafficking operations using rural communities as areas to stash drugs. The DEA is engaged in all efforts to ensure that our large drug trafficking organizations are being held accountable for the fentanyl that they're bringing into our communities. And there is information sharing that I would absolutely encourage between our tribal law enforcement, our FBI, and our DEA to ensure that we're gathering appropriate information to not allow those drug traffickers to use any of our communities, particularly our tribal communities, as safe areas. It should not be. There's federal prosecution priorities around ensuring that these drug traffickers are being held accountable for that work.
And Ms. Waldruff, in your testimony, you endorsed a multifaceted strategy to address the fentanyl crisis in Indian country. Does the multifaceted strategy include proactive steps the DOJ will take to address the crisis on missing and murdered Indigenous people?
Absolutely, Senator. The dangers that we're seeing in our communities that are related to drug trafficking have so much crossover with violent crimes, including the root causes of missing and murdered Indigenous people. And our efforts to prosecute both drug crimes and domestic violence, violent crimes, assaults, are all efforts to address the missing and murdered Indigenous people crisis.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Wednesday was a good one. Boy, it was a lot like Tuesday, which was a lot like Monday. It kind of feels like that Seattle weather, doesn't it? With low-hanging clouds, some misty drizzle throughout the day. Made for a pretty dramatic shot, though, over the Wenatchee Valley, looking down from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera this afternoon. And we saw a lot of that. And a lot of that misty rain out there. With the rain and with the snow melt, and boy, did it ever disappear out there. Still some flooding concerns. We do have a flood advisory for the county shaded in green, and here locally, that's us, Chelan County. I think that's in the upper elevation, so western Chelan County, and then much of northeast Washington and the panhandle of Idaho. So still some flooding concerns going into the end of the week. And then by the time we get there, we have some snowfall to talk about, especially Thursday night at Stevens Pass, also Lookout Pass and Snoqualmie Pass. We'll get a break from the wet stuff on Friday, and then Sunday we have some lowland snow to tell you about. I expect about 1 to 3 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley as we get into Saturday night. So our warm, wet weather is going to transition into cool and snowy weather as we get into the weekend. 44 our high temperature today, one of the warmest days we've seen in a while. 35 is where we should be for this time of year. Our record 54, and that was set in 1979. This morning 36. 10 degrees above where we should be for an overnight low for this time of year. 5, our record low, and that was set in 1980. We will be adjusting that once again, but 0.02 of an inch of precipitation, 5.42 for the year now in the Wenatchee area. Sunrise 7:33 and the sunset at 4:11. Let's take a look now at those Thursday temperatures, and they'll be a lot like today. In fact, almost exactly like today. Mid-40s in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 45 degrees, 44 for Quincy, 42 in Wenatchee, and then 41s for both Eniat and Chelan, 40 degrees right on the nose for Cashmere and Leavenworth for your Thursday high temperatures. Going into tonight, we expect cloudy skies. Here's that little trough of low pressure just off the Washington-Oregon coast, bringing clouds into our area. We'll see about a 30% chance that rain will continue tonight. Lows in those lower 30s, so we'll stay a bit on the mild side overnight. For Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. Most of the storminess now pushing to the east, and that will allow a pretty large area of high pressure to move in. Going to see highs again in the low 40s for our Thursday. And then on Friday, high pressure right here over western Oregon. We will see sunny and dry conditions on Friday. High temperatures probably more around 40 degrees for most of us on Friday, which is still above normal for this time of year. And then Saturday, here's our next storm system, the trough forming off the coast. Lots of clouds. Snow is likely. Look at that, statewide with some heavy snow in the Cascades. 1 to 3 inches possible Saturday. We're going to cool down too with highs in the mid-30s. For Sunday, maybe some leftover rain and snow shower activity. Mainly mostly cloudy for Sunday. We'll see a bit of a warm up too with temperatures getting back up into the upper 30s on Sunday. For your Monday, kicking off our next work week, we have a very quiet weather pattern to tell you about. High pressure off the coast, just a smattering of clouds around Washington State on Monday. Pretty seasonal for high temperatures in those mid to upper 30s. And then for Tuesday, we'll stay with those partly cloudy skies. It will be just a little bit cooler on Tuesday. Our afternoon highs into the mid-30s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Tonight, 33 degrees. Leftover rain showers tomorrow morning in 42. This will be our driest day. That's on Friday with 41 degrees expected. And then snow likely on Saturday, 34 degrees, 1 to 3 inches of snow is possible. We may have some winter weather advisories to tell you about as we get into tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, isolated snow showers on Sunday, and then partly cloudy skies for both Monday and Tuesday with seasonal temperatures, 37 Monday and 34 your high temperature on Tuesday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Eric Granstrom, the sports director for the NCWLIFE channel. We're here at Eastmont High School. We're going to be at Wenatchee High School. We've got basketball. We've got wrestling. It's all winter long. While you're out freezing your hind end off, we're inside staying warm. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
Now, am I looking into this camera, or am I looking, where am I looking?
We're going to have you just look at it.
The holiday season is coming, and Santa's making his 15-second commercial for NCWLIFE channel. Are you?
NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
The Cougars, Bulldogs, and Huskies all claimed victories in college basketball last night. Astira Tuhina scored 18 points, while Bella Murakatete had 15 to lead 21st-ranked Washington State to a road win at South Dakota State, 69-64 the final. Washington also won a close one at home over Montana State, 55-50, behind the 15 points from Delea Daniels and 13 from Lauren Schwartz. 7th-ranked Gonzaga men had no trouble running over and around Arkansas saw Pine Bluff in the kennel last night, 111-71. Braden Huff came off the bench to lead the Bulldogs with 19 points, while Graham Ike had 17. Washington's Frank Kepnang had a double-double with 16 points and 11 rebounds as the Huskies beat Montana State in Seattle 85-61. Severe Wheeler also chipped in 14 points for the Huskies. The Wenatchee Valley College men's and women's basketball teams will be hosting a very special event this weekend at the Town Toyota Center. The Native American Classic is the brainchild of WVC men's coach and athletic director Matthew Vargas. He says he brought the idea to Washington after experiencing great success in Arizona.
We started it with the youth and had the different tribes come and play summer tournaments. And so, you know, we had Pasquayaki versus Tohono versus Gila River. And it was great fun, a lot of energy. And so we took it, we incorporated the college team down there. When I got the job at Grace Harbor College, we took it out there and had a lot of success with bringing a lot of the Quinault youth onto the Grace Harbor College campus. And now that I'm blessed to be here in Wenatchee, here at Wenatchee Valley College, I wanted to do this last year, but got the job a little bit late. So it's really exciting to have all the different colleges coming in. My colleagues and the other athletic departments around the state have been awesome. We have 7 colleges coming in. We have Northwest Indian College. But the cool part about it is we're achieving our ultimate goal as an institution, as an athletic department, and that we're getting to incorporate the high schools. We got Lake Roosevelt. That press that they run is no joke. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them play. OMAC, you want to talk about fundamental power, just solid basketball. Will knows all about that. And then we have Hoquiam from the west side. My former assistant, who is Choctaw Blackfoot, he is now heading up that program. His son plays there, and they have a talented young group. And then, of course, we have DeSales. So we're going to have college athletes sitting, enjoying other games alongside Native youth and some young people from around the state. And I think just developing a kinship and learning more about each other is what we want to do. I think we're going to achieve that this weekend.
Wenatchee Valley College has Native Americans in both the men's and women's programs. Vargas says an added highlight of the weekend will be special ceremonies on Friday and Saturday.
12:30 is the first game. At 12 o'clock, there's going to be a prayer of blessing, land acknowledgement, and then again at 6, and a parade of the teams. And any young indigenous baller that wants to represent their tribe, their nation, they can have their flag, but we'll walk around the court. And then on Saturday at 3:15 from Spokane, Megan and her staff set up some drummers and cultural performers to come down, and they'll do a big performance. And then at the halftime of every game after that 2 o'clock game, which features Lake Roosevelt, they will perform, whether it be drumming, singing, dancing, and we're just really excited about it all.
We'll hear more from the players in the next few days here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Native American Classic, Friday through Sunday at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for children, and available through the Town Toyota Center box office or the website, and we've got a direct link on that on our website. Well, it was a busy night on the hardwoods across the region in prep basketball last night. The Eastmont boys traveled to Othello and came away with a 55-46 win. Ellensburg beat Wenatchee 70-40. Walla Walla dumped Moses Lake 76-49. Quincy overwhelmed Chelan 68-44. Omak edged Kashmir 59-50. Tonasket took down Republic 79-41. Soap Lake continued its early season dominance with an 86-26 win over Pateras. Entiat edged Oroville 58-35. Manson topped Moses Lake Christian 61-51. Cascade Christian beat Bridgeport 38-28. Lake Roosevelt rolled over Elmira Cooley Heartline 44-23. The Eastmont girls earned their second win of the season, downing Othello 44-31. Moses Lake topped Walla Walla 59-45. Chelan quieted Quincy 56-27. Cashmere took down Omak 73-23. Also in girls play last night, Tedasket topped Republic 62-29. Lake Roosevelt downed Elmira Cooley Heartline 53-42. Oroville edged Antioch 31-22. Manson blew out Moses Lake Christian 60-10. Bridgeport beat Cascade Christian 42-38. And Pateros popped Slope Lake 62-17. Wenatchee remained undefeated in girls bowling yesterday with a sweep of Davis. Panthers won the first two games 8-23-531 and 8-45-590. Then they won the two Bakers 194-108 and 168-107. Charlene Campbell was the high bowler with a 222. Ava Porter had a 202. Eastmont Wildcats also defended their home alley with a 4-0 win over Sunnyside. Eastmont won the first two games 7-67, 6-13 and 8-13-583. Then the Bakers 152-84 and 125-119. High bowlers for the Wildcats. Jillian Castle with a 190 in the first game and Claire Collins with a 191 in the second. Well, today we celebrate the champions. The Wenatchee Panther volleyball team won the WIAA State 4A Championship back in November, completing an unbelievable season. Junior Ava Jo Berry says there was a feeling something special could be achieved early on.
Yeah, I think looking back at it, it was easy to realize that during the summer when we started training and started finding our bond as a team, it became known that we had a special thing going on. And when we started winning tournaments like the crossover, getting second soiree, those were all big deals for us, but we had the state goal in mind, and even just not even on the court but off the court was more of a special bond, and I think that's what got us how far.
Coach Jordan McGregor, in just her first year taking over the program, says they set high goals throughout the season.
And we had summer goals. I mean, we went to a couple tournaments in the summertime and we had goals there. And then as we came into season, I mean, very first day, very first week, that's something that we sit down and talk about, is setting those not individual goals but also as team goals. And just that way there's always something that we're working towards, and they tend to like trend with the later in the season. So, you know, winning the Sun Dome tournament, that was our first goal. Winning the crossover, that was the next one. Going undefeated in league, winning districts, not losing, you know, they all just trend down as the season progresses, and we did pretty well on that this year, which is cool.
Senior Jess McIrvin says it took the entire team to help push each other towards reaching their ultimate goal.
I think it is incredibly important to have every single girl on the team be fully bought in and fully willing to work to achieve goals like this, you know? Like, it doesn't just come from the people on the court working, it comes from the team bond off the court, which we emphasize as a team immensely. We have team dinners, we have team activities, we all love on each other and communicate with each other. And it is really important when you go into an environment as big as the Sun Dome and there's people watching you everywhere to have, you know, that your teammates have got your back every single step of the way.
You can watch the entire interview on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz on our website. Just go to full programs or full episodes, and you can click on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for that. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz, host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, your get up and get going local morning TV show special guest on tomorrow's edition of the program via satellite from the North Pole. Santa Claus will be my guest on tomorrow's show. So I'm inviting you to hold tight. I'm being told by my producer, Santa has not confirmed yet. So maybe Santa Claus tomorrow on the show. We shall see together. Live and local tomorrow at 7 a.m. right here from Studio 4. Till then.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.